What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stirfry. It's your boy Chef T.
Will the Spacekid.
And our special guest, MannyD, aka MannyD.
What up?
What up, Manny? How you doing? How you doing today in the new year?
Feeling great.
It's 2020, man. Vision clear. All right. So I know you're a singer, songwriter, as just hip hop artist. You do a bunch of genres. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I started music. Well, I've always been involved in music. I grew up around my mom. My mom was a singer. She that's kind of where I found my passion for music.
Okay.
As a little kid, I was really into sports. I never took music seriously. And then after I graduated, that's when I really started to get into it. And then we made our group LIV.
Right. We just had Nick on last week.
Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. 2019 was a rough year, but I figured out a lot. I found myself. I found who I am as a person, my voice, and really found my passion. This is what I want to do with my life.
So 2020 is the year where it's all serious, all music. This is what it is. How do you kind of find your motivations to make more music? Like what motivates you?
I basically, anything that revolves with my music, anything I talk about, I've been through. And if I haven't been through it, then I've seen it. So I always went by the motto, you don't ever want to preach about something that you haven't seen or done in your life. So I just always like to keep it real. I feel like telling a story through your music is the best way to connect with people. So personally, when I write something, say it might be a sad song, you know, I wrote a song about my sister who passed away. That right there, just, that's just me showing who I am and my thought process. So
who would you say is the I'm gonna say wild card artist that motivates you? Obviously, if you ask somebody, they're gonna probably say Kanye, Lil Wayne. So who's the wild card that motivates you? My
artist that really motivates me is Russ.
Russ, okay.
I love his work ethic. I love his grind. A lot of people hate him because, they take his confidence for arrogance. And he's a little out there, but for me personally, I relate to him a lot because he grinded for so long and it took him so long to get where he's at. And it just makes me realize, you can never give up on your dream and you just got to stay passionate.
Yeah, I mean, that's what all he preaches about, just having that self-drive to keep going even when it's tough. Yeah. Which is, probably everybody that has ever done anything great has been through some tough times.
Everybody's got a story.
Russ is pretty interesting. One of the biggest independent artists. Also, just to even, have that fan base and keep it every year. So I kind of, pay respect. He created respect to Russ.
Yeah, Russ created his own kind of niche. He created his own cult following. Yeah. I just think through his characteristics, it's always crazy to see how much people hate him.
I kind of get why people hate him. So, I'm not, the biggest fan, but I respect the grind and the hustle and to just be able to do what he does. But, when you do just watch a 15-second clip or a 1-minute video and you don't see full interviews of him explaining himself, it looks crazy. Yeah. It looks like he's just picking on people. It looks like he's just the arrogant douchebag artist. 100%. But if you were to, because I actually had to do it myself. I had to watch those 30-minute interviews, those 10-minute interviews to kind of really understand him more as a person. Yeah. But you watch that 1-minute clip, it's gonna look bad.
All you see is what academics is posting. Academics is the
academics TMZ. He got a lot of hate because he wore the sweatshirt talking about people who do drugs are losers and stuff like that, hating on other artists because they promote stuff that he's not trying to promote, and that's where he got a lot of his hate from. And then just him he's kind of flashy with his shit, but he me personally, I don't really pay attention to that. I pay more attention to the music side of things. Yeah. So.
Yeah, the whole thing with Russ is, in reality, the reality of it is he's actually preaching good things. Right. Technically, he's preaching you can do it yourself, keep doing it. Now you can get here. I did it. Real and don't do drugs, you know?
Yeah.
And I think people, this goes for everybody. So people tend to always hate on the people that are doing it themselves. Because there's this thing where, like, you feel like you need people's help. And if you have help, you know, you're basically thinking that he said he's better than you. That's why I could see other artists being upset about it, you know, about what he says. And he does, like, he makes you know that he did himself.
Oh, 100%.
You know, he's
always bragging about it.
Which to an extent, it can be exhausting, but...
That's, like, the only part I'd have to say that's annoying about him is he's, like, that's the only thing that you ever see is, like, he's always bragging about how he did it himself. But other than that, like, he's a cool dude. I just, like...
But on the flip side, I mean, I could see how his music has inspired you, though, with songs like All You, your more vibey songs. He even kind of talks about deeper stuff, too. Mm-hmm. I definitely think that's a good person that I could see that captivates your motivation musically.
Another person though that I vibe with is Chance the Rapper. That's like kind of where I got my flow from too.
Chance is like one of my main people. I'm a huge fan of Chance.
Yeah.
Just I don't know, just to see the progress. I kind of wish Coloring Book was actually his first album. I mean, he's obviously in a huge position, but I feel like that would put him like in a different position because it was kind of like he told us Coloring Book wasn't the album. Then when he dropped the album, to me, it was like a little bit less quality where I would have rather just like, sophomore curse than the kind of... Because I don't know, I just was like, oh, Coloring Book is crazy. He said the album is on the way. I don't even know like what to expect. And then the album comes out, I'm like, it's a bit of a downgrade. Still great quality, still great songs you can listen to, vibe to. I just feel like it's a downgrade from Coloring Book.
Yeah, well, I love Chance because, like, you know, like, he comes from Chicago. Obviously, everybody knows that. But, like... When you hear a lot of Chicago rappers, they're coming with the hardcore trap. And it's like he keeps it soulful. And that's like, we live in Ohio. So everybody's thinking like, oh, everybody's got to either do trap or this, that, and the other. I like to come with like the California kind of flow, like the kind of like swaggy stuff. Cause like
the melodic kind of, you know, the vibey, the jazz, almost in like a jazzy way. Yeah. And I think that is true. What Chance did... We talked about this on the podcast before. What Chance does is, you know, he sticks with what he is. He's not anybody else. He gives back to his community. He's always keeping that same image that he had from the jump, you know. I mean, yeah, you listen to acid rap and stuff like that. That's my favorite. Acid rap 10 Day. That's when I think Chance was in his bag the most. But, I mean, obviously things change, and, you know, we got to more of, like, a gospel kind of, you know. Because if you listen to stuff, I mean, he still has that sprinkled in there, but if you listen to more stuff on Acid Rap 10 Day, it's more, it's not, like, trappy at all, but it just has a good vibe to it. He always had that happy vibe.
100%.
You know, like, that good vibe. Yeah. And Prom Night, love that song. Great song. But, no, yeah, Chance is the GOAT. But, okay, so those are your motivations, and I really liked how, you know, you pretty much said that music is your outlet, right?
Yes.
Like this is how you know, get out all your emotions you're feeling, and that's why I think your music's different. I think you talk about real shit that is really happening to you, you know, and that creates that authenticity and that we miss. People are out here talking about shit. Like, you got this white dude that lives in Beechwood or Westlake. He thinks he's in the hood, but he's not.
I feel like a lot of rappers go wrong because, like, they want to follow in someone else's footsteps. They want to, like, so, you know, like, people are making bops. So now people, like, so, say club music is, like, the big thing. Now all these artists want to start making club music or something because... They think that that's going to get them clout because they're trying to match with what's going on now. But I think the best way to do it is if you stay yourself, sooner or later, it's going to prove itself.
Yeah, people can see through the bullshit, for sure, 100%. People respect it. Also, I want to backtrack a little bit. When you said your intro, you know, you said you do a lot of other things other than music. You draw, though, right?
Yes.
You're a very good drawer.
Yeah, I've been drawing since I couldn't remember. I honestly, like, since I was a little kid, like, I used to I remember I drew on a pizza box one time of Donald Duck, and it was the coolest thing ever because I did it with friends and stuff. And that was one of my proudest moments. And then I used to have people who would come up to me and be like, yo, can you draw me tattoos? I never really ever took it seriously, but this past year, we've been talking a lot last year about coming up with clothing brands and stuff like that. So I just kind of like to doodle and come up with ideas, and then we just put them on platforms. So
yeah. So how'd you just randomly started drawing? How'd you get into it? How?
Well, I spent a lot of time. I was like that kid where if I wasn't at school or wasn't at sports, I just spent a lot of my time at home with my family. And what else is a kid to do when he's really bored? So I just kind of picked up a pencil one day and just started drawing. And I was also that kid in school all the time. If I didn't pay attention. I was just,
Manny, you're over here drawing
No, my teachers would always come back at me and they're like, "Can you stop drawing on your papers?" Yeah. But no, it's just it's always a love and a passion I have because if I'm not speaking it, I'm letting it flow through the pencil. So
right through creative outlets. Okay.
So what do you feel like? What do you feel like is stopping you from doing tattoos? That's a more common side hustle for people.
It's not that really anything stops me. It's I don't drawing is fun to me, and it's I love it. Okay. But at the same time, I couldn't see myself taking it seriously for the fact being that music is what I really want to put all my passion into, and I just don't want to put I don't want to split my time up.
Yeah,
I want to make
focus.
sure
Yeah, because I guess that's what happens to become side hustle. Then over time, you devote more time, and it becomes the main thing.
And then on top of that, when you do tattoos, you can draw, but what really sets a tattoo is the shading, and that's something that would take a lot of time to work on.
You can't just jump into.
I'm very when I draw, I'm very precise, and I like myself looking perfect. I don't have OCD, but at the same time I do. So it's if I was to do a tattoo, I'd be honestly nervous to do it on somebody because I would not want to mess up on somebody.
Yeah. Right.
Could you imagine could you imagine your first time doing a tattoo on human skin? How nerve wracking that would be, bro. I would be come on, Ty, focus, that. People have balls and confidence, man. I don't know. That shit would freak me out because one mess up, man. That's not forever, right. Dude. You're you do it, you're oh man, yeah, looks good, dude. He's can I see it in the mirror? You show it to him. It's just ass, dude. You're fuck. But I guess, it's a risk.
Yeah. That's why you gotta
have you ever done graffiti?
I've messed around with
some spray. I feel you'd be great at graffiti.
You don't gotta tell us exactly
exactly
what buildings,
This is low-key Banksy over here.
We've gone and done some stuff around, we go tag some walls every now and then when I was little, just messing around.
Yeah, downtown on 5th Street where it says Manny, that wasn't you, right?
No.
Oh, just,
I don't know if you guys probably can't see, but there's some drawings over here on the refrigerator too. Some stuff he drew. He's very talented at that. And then I guess, so you got many talents, huh? You were... you make music, you sing, you rap, you draw, and you're also a great athlete.
Yeah, growing up, the biggest thing pushed on me was sports, and I got an older brother and older sister. Well, my older brother was going through some stuff at the time as a little kid, so me and him, how we bonded was we just put our focus into baseball. And my dad was that dad where he told me if you're gonna spend all your time doing this, you're gonna be the best you can be. And he was my coach as little, and I don't know, there's pictures of me as not even 1 year old with a bat in my hand. So it's just I think it's always just been there. I got blessed. That's the easiest way to say it, is I got blessed with gifts. So
right,
but. No, sports for me, before I fell in love with music, it was another outlet to let go because, everybody builds up anger or hate or all this stuff. And I think everybody needs an outlet. And in high school, that was my outlet. Running track or football, that was my place to just say, okay, I'm free from the whole world for 30 seconds. And
during that play, during that whistle.
Right.
Is that what you wanted? So back in high school, is that what you wanted to do? You wanted to play sports?
100%. I set up a goal since I was a little kid. I was gonna I was gonna go to high school. I was gonna get a D1 Division scholarship to the Ohio State, which is was my dream school. Unfortunately, plans didn't work out. I didn't take school seriously. Stay in school, kids. I didn't take school seriously, and my senior year, when I fell in love with track, and I finally figured out like this was like what I was good at. I got a few scholarships, and sadly, I couldn't take them because I didn't take school seriously. So that was a big life lesson for me. So I really had to like take in consideration of growing and
Did you learn from what happened in high school? What happened with that? Did you somehow learn how to take things you learned and put them into the music that you're trying to create now?
Yeah,
right. Because they're both big. I mean, at the end of the day, they're both big dreams. All the stuff you're doing are like these are stuff that takes a lot of hard work and dedication to achieve.
With music, work, like anything that you do in life, like there's always a million other people that are trying to set out to do the exact same thing as you, and you got to prove and show why you're so unique or special in a way. Me with sports, it was like I always just brought this good vibe, and I was joyful, and like I took it seriously, but I probably didn't take it as seriously as I could have. So with music, that's why like my focus was 100% on music, because I learned from my mistakes, and I might be good and I might be better than 10,000 other people, but there's 20,000 other people that are more hungry or just as hungry. So I have this mindset like, okay, what can I do that sets me apart from all these other people?
Yeah, and a huge difference between like sports and music is, sports is typically after like 22, it's kind of like done. Yeah. Like, we're being honest. You still have arena football. You have these like, you go overseas. Some people still get lucky at like 25, 26. Right. But typically like 22, it's pretty much done at that point. Music, we done seen it. 30 years old, 35-year-old, just jump in the game, and their whole life has changed.
Right. And with music, you could still do music and still do other things. That's the great thing about music. Like, say like my goal, if I blow up, like I want to give back to my community, because I moved a lot in life, and this is like the one place in my life that I was able to call home and grow and attach. So
yeah, like I know Eminem and Jay-Z were both 26, Rick Ross 30. So like when you just look at something like that, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is 100%. Yeah. I don't know, life takes you on many different paths. So I just, I'm striving to be the best person I can be.
Right. And I think the thing with music opposed to athletics is music, the more you live through, the more you're relatable. The more you're relatable, people want to hear relatable things. People want to feel like, okay, I'm not alone. Right. That 35-year-old dude may have the experience that relates to somebody, and that's why they're able to do that. But with sports, it's what can we get from you?
Sports is also a system.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's kind of like the that's kind of, but it's a huge, like, I guess, kind of a sense of a pro and con. So with sports, you kind of know, you have a direction. Like, okay, I'm a kid, I'm about to go to high school, I'm going to play, somebody's going to pick me up because of XYZ, I can go to college, and then I can enter the league. With music, you really kind of don't have a sense of direction. It's kind of just like,
all over the place.
Well, I saw this one person upload theirs to SoundCloud, and they got 1 million views. I saw this other person make this funny video in the mall singing, and it went to YouTube, and they got 3 million views, and they got signed. I don't know what's the right answer or how do I go about this, but I guess if I tell my story, maybe I'll get picked.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll just be successfully independent on my own. But at the same time, you could be a lot more independent with music. Like, you can wake up and say, you know what, I'm gonna go to the studio, I'm gonna put a song on Spotify, Apple Music, we're gonna see how it does. Sports is kind of like, you really don't have an independent option because it's a team game.
Yeah.
Like by default, it's a team game. Like, okay, I have to become friends with these people. We have to build our team up. First off, I have to even make the team, according to the coach. You might not even make the team.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it's a lot of pros and cons and just differences.
I think also, like, with sports, like, you know, like, you have to be 100% dedicated. Like, you have no choice. Like, if you're playing on a team, like, you have to do
You talking about practice?
You're talking about practice. But I think with music, though, I think what is dope is, like, you know, you choose whether, like, with football, like I'm saying, like, with football, like, you have no choice. Like, if you're on that team, like, you gotta grind, you gotta work. But with music, it's like, you know, like, yeah, you get to choose, but really it's on you. It's not on a team. It's on you to be better.
I guess in a sense,
you could take a break. Like if you miss 3-4 practices, you might be gone. Like
you cut.
But it's still all similar to the music in the sense that you do have to dedicate yourself fully to music if you want to make it.
I mean, you have to dedicate, but you have those options of like, okay, so for example, let's say somebody passed away in your family. It's nothing for you to, you know, shut off real quick. Right. Hey, sorry, fans, I'm gonna be gone for 2 months. I have a lot going on. With sports, it's kind of like, you know, I seen what happened. You know, you lost your loved one, but can you please show back to practice? Like that's just how it is.
You get 2 days off. Yeah,
that's how it is.
Again, it's because people want something out of you.
Right. Yeah,
it becomes a sense of, at least music, it's more of your self-expression. Sports is more of like, well, what can we get out of you? Oh, we can't use you anymore? Right. We don't need you. Next. I mean, it's kind of like... Yeah, I mean, that's how it is.
And that's why, like, music is so dope because, like, not only, like, are you on your own time and, like, if you really want this, like, you're gonna go and get it yourself. You're not doing it because you feel like someone else is relying on you. Like right now, like I'm in a position where like I gotta go get this myself. Like I'm down, so how am I gonna get myself up?
Yeah, this is where that Russ. That's where that Russ mindset comes in. You know, it is all about you being self-driven, and again, a common misconception is that it just happens overnight. Like people just naturally get big.
I wish.
Yeah, I mean, but like think of how many people do that. Think of how many people think like that.
I used to get mad all the time because I'll go on like YouTube or Twitter or something. I'll see like some kid who doesn't deserve 1 million views, and I'm like, I got so much more talent, way better than that kid. But it's, you know, maybe he just promoted it or did something differently that I'm not doing that I don't know anything about.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the hustle. That's part of the grind. And going back to sports, like I think what's really crazy is college sports and sports in the sense of like, I think music is often misinterpreted because if your parents are there, right, and they're like, yeah, you know, my kid plays football, he's gonna play for the NFL one day. It often seems kind of more realistic in a parent mindset.
Yeah.
That my kid is going to, you know, he's.
That was what I was talking about. Like it's structured, and it just seems so tangible. Yeah. Even like so I mean, so you have those parents where it's just like you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer. Right. Like they know for sure that's tangible. Like if you get A's in school, you can do that. And then you have those parents where I feel like they're a little bit more open-minded, like, oh yeah, you can do sports, like that's possible. You know, I know a person or two I grew up with. You know, I've seen it happen. And then you have those parents that are like, you know, they're down for whatever. If you want to be, you know, music artist, if you want to be a painter. But those people that are kind of like in the middle with the sports, like they see it. It just it's a road that they see and they see how to do it. But like I said, music is so all over the place. They just like, well, what's your plan? And if you don't have all the answers immediately, they're just like, well, I don't think you should do that.
That's how my parents are. Like my mom and my dad were like really heavy on me with like sports. Like I was not set to do anything else besides become a football or baseball player.
Yeah.
Like when I stopped playing baseball going to high school, like my mom like was so disappointed. Like she like didn't even want to talk to me. And then when I started making music and I told my mom, like, the biggest struggle I think was proving, I proved to myself, but I think the biggest struggle was proving to my own mom and my dad and my family that, like, this isn't just something I want to do, but this is something that I can do. And I just, you know.
And, I mean, another thing is you kind of got to think of, like, the investment of time. So, you know, your mom might have bought you a new set of gloves or a football or a baseball before, and she's like, you know, that's down the drain. Then when it's like music, I feel like that first show kind of usually like gives people like a lot of hope because they're like, okay, they got a show. I don't even know. Dang, like they just told me, you know, they started this music thing. I'm gonna go to the first show support, and then they see you, and they're probably looking around like, okay, the audience like this too, like, and the audience like it, and they're probably like, this could be something.
Yeah, I started getting a lot of support from my family when I dropped the song All You, which is on Apple Music and Spotify.
Make sure you check it out, people.
Yeah, so when I started recording in 2016, that was like the first year I really started making music seriously, and that was with, Spitta, Chef T, The Lots. I was kind of lost and I needed a sense of direction. And All You was really the first song that set me apart from everybody else, because that was the song that really made me believe, and not only me but my family,
right,
that I can do this.
That was a song. See, but I think that song was a pivotal moment because you were singing about you were singing about real things. Yeah. You were singing about your emotions, how you felt, and before that, all your music, you still had that sprinkled in there, but it was still more of like, what do people want to hear, I think. I think that changed, and that made people more like, okay, like, he also can sing, he has melody in him. Which was big. And that's I think you took that song into all your other music.
Yeah, like you said, that was a pivotal time in my life, because, like, that was, like, not only did that, like, help me, but that, like, showed people, like, oh, this kid, he doesn't just rap, like, he can sing too.
Yeah.
Like, that.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's another thing that we're, like, that again, when we're talking about parents, you rap, they're like, I don't know. But you can sing, it's different. Again, it's different. It's just a crazy concept. It's like...
But again, that goes to stuff being structured. So, like, when you say you can sing... They're like, okay, I know a choir they can join. I know these different, nightclubs that, the older scene. Oh, they can even, pick up an instrument and add the saxophone to their singing. But again, rap is just so all over the place. And then even for somebody that listened to rap, like, say if somebody was 20 years old in 1980, and what they even looked at as rap to what you present to them right now, they're like, that don't sound like Eazy-E and Ice Cube. Like, you told me you were rapping. What is this?
Yeah, let me hear the bars. And
then you might be trying to explain, like, this part right here is going to be with the auto-tune. And they're like, what? Like, it either sounds good right now or it doesn't. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't rap for me, like, it's fun, and it's like I love to do it, but it's one of those things where, like, I know it's not gonna set me apart from people. So that's why, like, singing, like, I, like, was not confident at all, like, scared. I was scared shitless to do it.
When did you realize that you had the talent to sing, though?
It's funny. So actually,
Bruno Mars.
Well, I was, like I said, growing up, like, I was always singing, like, like 8, 9 years old, Justin Bieber was becoming a big thing. I'd be sitting at my grandma's house on the laptop trying to, like, learn his music and match my voice with his. But I really found my voice was I went and did a song. I did 2 songs with Young Cap. And when we were at the studio, the engineer was he was trying to make me do this, like, really high pitched voice, and I was really uncomfortable with it. But, like, they made me do it over and over again until I got it down. And when I seen how high and like how my voice flows, like, that's when I realized, like, oh, I got something.
Okay.
Yeah, it was dope. It was definitely, like, a cool experience.
That's when you discover that you could. That's amazing, because I think in all your music you're making now, you add that flair in, which does set you apart. That's like a pivotal point of your melody, your music, your brand. We can hear that. Also, going back, sorry, we're gonna backtrack a little bit more back into this whole sports and music concept of, like, it is the structure. You found that you could sing, so maybe now your family supports you even more because you have this melody. It's a little more structured because they can physically see singers throughout the years being popular. The thing with sports, though, is it's crazy to me. It's like even a little bit more accepted because these kids they play football for high school. They're good, and then they get these offers for these D3, D2 schools, and they go and pursue it when often people think, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers on how many people actually make it to the NFL or NBA just based off of like a D3 division, you know?
D3 is rough.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, people can make it out, but you really have to like, if you're making it out of anything lower than D2, like you're literally grinding 24/7. Like,
yeah.
Like, there is no stop. Like, football, you breathe, live, eat football.
I feel like a lot of D3 players that make it, they're kind of like these, like, not always, but they're kind of like these hometown heroes. Like,
right.
You know what? I'm not going to leave to the D1 school. I'm not going to go to the Big Ten school. I'm going to shine here, grind it out. But they probably could have went to a D1 school.
What division is Kent?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Kent is D1.
Kent is definitely D1, yeah.
I don't know, because I know that Edelman went there.
I think Kent, Akron, all like
I mean, so that's the thing. Most of the D1 schools, even in Ohio, a lot of those people actually, well, I can't say a lot of people, but it's realistic to kind of make it to the NFL. Right. Like, if you're like D1. Basketball is a bit of a, I don't know.
It's a bit of a stretch.
It's a bit of a stretch, but people like, you know, they go down the path, the road. They go high school, they go to D1 college in Ohio, and then, you know, they do their 4 years in and actually go to the NFL, which is, I mean, amazing.
Which is crazy. Do you think it's like realistic, Manny, that so we're all here all about pursuing your passions. That's what we talk about. That's what we do. And I'm not knocking anybody for doing these things. You know, I believe that if you really want it, you can get it through whatever outlet you want. But do you think that if you would have went to college, say you said you had offers, right? But just school was, if you think that D3 or D2 would have got you where you wanted to be, do you think it's realistic, or you think people waste their time often?
Knowing the person I am, like, high school was like a pivotal like moment in my life because like I grew a lot, but I also didn't like, since I said I didn't take school seriously. Like, I was that kid that always wanted to party and like just have fun. Like,
right.
I thought, you know, right now what are we doing? Like, I just wanted to live life. Like, and that was my mindset, which wasn't the right mindset. And I think if I would have taken sports seriously and I went to college, maybe I could have made something of myself, but I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And right. I don't regret anything that I've done. So,
okay.
But like other people pursuing this, in their head, they're like, okay, I'm going to make it to the NFL.
Well, what do you think about arena football? You know, so let's say, you know, you did those 4 years of college, you jump out. They're like, no NFL offers, but you got this arena football job, $40K a year. What do you think? $40K a year.
If football was my passion, like it was, and I live, breathe football, and I couldn't get anything, I would definitely take it. But I would have to. It's one of those things where, like, if you're gonna go do that and you're not making the money that you want to make, then you also got to invest in yourself and try to figure something else out. Because
yeah.
I mean, anything you do, you should do that. Like, NFL players, NBA players, even big artists, like, they should always invest in themselves because that's where a lot of people go wrong.
Yeah.
But especially if you're not where you want to be in the dream that you wanted, you can't get, then you just got to work that much harder, especially if you're going to go do something like that.
Okay.
Absolutely. I agree with you, and I think that's kind of what we talk about. So we talk about chasing your dreams of being realistic with it, you know? Like, you're not always going to get that NFL spot. You're not always going to get to be the number one on the billboards. You're not always going to get to be that billionaire, you know? But you can still have some aspect of that in what you do if you take the time to really figure out yourself and figure out how to kind of bring your passions into a realistic environment. You know, for instance, you make music. Well, again, you can still have a great career making music and not be number one. You know, you can play arena football. You can become a sports journalist. You could do all these, you know, and I think people go all in on one mindset, which is good sometimes to get you where you want, but sometimes you also have to just have that idea.
Yeah.
Stuff happens.
With like stuff like that, like arena football, like you got, like, you didn't make it to the NFL, you made it to arena football. But, like, I think the biggest thing that people lose is the fact that, like, okay, I'm here, now I'm just going to play. Like, I think, like, my coaches always told me, like, hard work stands out. And the slackers, they stand out because you don't see the slackers, but you see the hard workers.
Yeah.
So, if you made it to arena football and you're proving everybody wrong and you're the number one player in arena football, who knows? Maybe a coach will see you in NFL and be like, okay, let's give him a shot.
Like, you get that scout. You never know what'll come. Yeah, I guess people do lose them. People do lose their motivations when they don't get what they want right away.
Right.
I mean, it happens to all of us. When you're working towards a goal and you don't get the outcome you want, sometimes you lose hope. But I guess it is those people that still outshine whatever they're doing are the people that actually, like, make a difference. And they make it to that next step. They make it that much closer to where they want to be. Again, maybe that arena football job, they're like, oh, you are kick-ass at arena football. And you know a lot about sports. We have this position opening I think you'd be perfect at. And now you're working for, like, an ESPN on, you're watching, they have so many jobs. I'm sure, like, you're calculating,
Yeah, so many jobs in sports nowadays.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing in life, though, is, like, not listening to the outside. Because that's where everybody goes wrong, too, is, like, people from outside will comment on Twitter and just hate on somebody, and then they get into this slump where, like, oh, I guess, now I'm, like, this bad person or something. Like, they just, now they're like, I can't do this no more. And I think, like, with music, like, it's not a perfect world at all. Like, there's a lot of days you're more down than up. It's how, like I said, how are you going to figure out how you're going to get back up is the pivotal moment in anything that you do. So, I don't know. Life is crazy.
Yeah. Life is crazy. It is. It is very crazy. So, what's next for MannyD? What do you got planned for us in 2020?
Right, so, in 2019, I recorded a lot of stuff. It's still in the vault. I plan on dropping an album. I'm still working on it. So with this album, you're gonna hear a lot of. It's not sad per se, but it's more or less just like letting a side of me that nobody ever really sees in person.
Okay.
I always bring this good vibe, cheerful, like I love everybody vibe. But like with music, like I said, it's an outlet for me. So with my songs coming up, it's expressing like what I went through as a kid, what I went through in high school, like people that didn't see behind closed doors. And then eventually what we want to do is I'm working with this dude right now. He owns a dance studio. His name's Howard. We want to create a record label called We Are Weirdos, and it's going to be pretty dope.
Okay.
But with music, I want to go in more direction after this album of just like good vibes. Like 2020, like everybody's saying like, oh, 2020 is going to be the year. Like it's not just the year, it's going to be for years to come. I'm going to make this happen. Like good vibes only. Like this is like 2019 was a pivotal time in my life because I really, like I said, realized who I am, and now I'm ready just to take off and go. Like yeah. It's gonna
It sounds like your album is more you. It's like going to be you. It's going to be who you are.
Yeah.
People get a peek into kind of your, who you really are.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where like you really have to listen to understand where I'm coming from. It's not one of those, just listen for 10, 30 seconds and you can just know, like you got to listen to the whole song and listen to the words and not just the melody, because that's like another thing is like everybody just wants to listen to a melody and then like, oh, it's not catchy, next. Like, no, like I'm telling you, you give my music a chance and you listen to the words and you'll really see like the real side of me.
So what month can we expect the music video?
Me and him are planning one for this song that I called Out of Mind.
Okay. My favorite song.
It's gonna be dope. He's got a lot of stuff, visions going for it.
Think March, April realistic?
You would have to talk to this man right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean 2020 is a crazy year. Hopefully definitely by April.
Okay.
I'm hoping maybe even February we'll work on it.
Okay.
Marketing plan.
Yeah. No, a lot. I'm coming. So like basically, with the songs, like I'm making a lot of promo videos. My little sister is actually gonna be making them for me. Shout out to her. She's dope.
You got her Instagram at? So people check her out or no?
It's like I honestly don't remember it. I failed.
Yeah, it's your chance.
No, but with music, I kind of just like put it out there. Like a lot of people, you know, like they want to do like a lot of setups and carry it out. But like me, I just feel like when I feel that the time is right and I go with my gut and I just drop it.
Right.
Like of course, you know, I let people know like a day or two or a week in advance. But
Right.
So we talked all this shit about you being this amazing singer, songwriter. So can we hear a little sample? Can I hear a little singing? People want to hear, and they're all dying to hear. I know.
Just a chorus.
Just let's hear some. You can look at your phone, look at your notes, get some.
I see. All right. So actually, this girl, well, my girlfriend, we've been working on this song on the piano, and it's pretty dope. It's kind of crazy because like I don't really play instruments, but she's got this like nice piano at her house, and I was just kind of playing on it. And I was looking up songs, and like we came up.
Dang, this Instagram model asked me if you were single. I guess I gotta like tell her, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so it's like, baby, I can't sleep. Thoughts of you and me, seeing you in my dreams. Won't you here with me? I've been missing you. Do you miss me too? All up on my mind, I just wonder if it's you. Like, so I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah, all right. We caught him off guard with that one, but that you did
was
great.
Not ready.
Yeah, I was feeling it.
No, that seemed like a great melody, great vibe. Something different again, because that's more of piano singing.
Yeah.
You know?
I've been I used to be that kid where like I didn't want to like listen to outside like people like you or you know like anybody would try to like criticize me and I'd be like,
fuck you.
Yeah,
No,
like, I'm just like you know like I know what I want, but I really took the time in my life and I was like, you know, people aren't telling me things just because they want me to do something different. Like they're giving me advice. So when I finally started listening to it and I started, you know, not only do I do the good vibes now, you know, my voice matches up really good with piano or like acoustic guitars.
Yeah. And
I really like took the time. I started like traveling through beats. I was like trying to make myself aware, listen more, and I really me and her really got some dope stuff coming.
Yeah.
She's not.
Does she sing as well, or?
Yeah, she's not an established artist yet. She hasn't made anything, but we're grinding. We're working hard. The engineer I go to, his name's Brad Pouet. He's worked with like Justin Bieber, Elena Perez, like a lot of big artists. Me and him were actually talking. I'm gonna go to the studio in like a few days, and we're gonna like record off the piano, like live piano. It's gonna be dope. We're not using a beat.
Which I think that's awesome.
It's gonna be a cool experience, most definitely.
Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah. You got anything else for Mo?
I think we learned a lot about, man.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of did.
You know, all his fans and supporters, you know, they got a nice chunk of what's going on this year. And, you know, like he said, it's not just this year, it's the years after. Right. You know, a decade, you know?
I think we all got to understand there's a difference between fame and buzzing. And I ain't even buzzing right now. But I believe in myself. And if you believe in yourself, anything can happen. You got to stay motivated, you got to dream, and you got to stay passionate. Because the moment you stop, someone else is going to take your place.
Right.
So it's important to always just look at life and live, but take it seriously too. Because I didn't take life seriously at the beginning, and I was just so far behind, and I'm not even caught up yet. So shout out to LIV. Shout out to my boy Chef T and Will the Spacekid.
Hey, you know.
Yo.
All right.
We're doing big things.
Well, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. It was good to, you know, I mean, I know you a lot, but it was good for everyone else to get to know you, I think, you know, kind of get your word out there. Where can everyone find you at?
On Instagram and Twitter, it's Manny_Del Pinel. On Apple Music and Spotify.
You want to spell that for him? I don't know if you can spell Del Pinel.
DELPINAL. Weird name. And then on Instagram, well, I already said Instagram. On Apple Music and Spotify, you go type in MannyD or just type in MannyD. Tell me, is it you? Misunderstood. All those songs will pop up. Like I said, the songs, the music, it's all a vibe. It's something different.
It's great vibes.
Great vibes. Like
great vibes.
Like I said, we got a lot in the works. But it's gonna be an adventure, to say the least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all right. Well, thank you again for being here, and make sure everybody to go check him out on all streaming platforms: SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. It's your boy Chef T.
I'm Will the Spacekid.
MannyD.
And thank you for watching and listening, and keep it real, y'all.
Yep.
Thank you all for listening and joining us on another episode of the Stirfry. All the music was created by Steve Ozell. Check him out on all streaming services at Stevo Music, spelled ST3V30 Music. Also, if you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. We'd greatly appreciate it. See you next Tuesday when we talk with Cartier. He's a very talented local Cleveland music artist. He opens up about his past and how he became who he is today. It is packed full of great life advice, so see you next week and keep it real.